How is everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Witness, and we are here for our first poker vlog. Didn't know it was going to be happening this soon. We had a change of plans, and we realized we're going to be playing some live poker. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the online, but this one's is some live one. We're here at Gate City Casino, Nashua, New Hampshire, ready to play some 1-2. Let's hop into it.
All right, this first hand we're going to look down at the King Queen offsuit. Definitely not a hand that you want to be raising in under the gun +1 position, but that's exactly what I do here. We get two callers from the low jack and the small blind. Everyone else electing to fold their garbage, which is what I probably should have done in this situation. But hey, if I spike a king or a queen here, right, then maybe this won't look so stupid. So obviously the board comes out 4, 10, 7 rainbow. We get absolutely no help here, and for some reason we're still going to c-bet. I'm not really sure what this guy's doing. He's still c-betting. This does not hit your range at all. Maybe you have some sort of weird 10, but no, this absolutely not. Both of these players are going to call. It hits their range much better than mine. The board comes out brick, brick, and we're going to like to throw our hand in the muck because both of our opponents have better hands. Moving on to the second hand, we're picking it up after I've already bet out for $15. We got ace-5 of spades, which is a great hand to lead out with. We were in under the gun +1. We had hijack and the small blind to come along to a flop of ace, queen, 6, rainbow. We get top pair. Obviously no kicker, and our kicker is never going to play on this board probably, but I don't think I should be too scared yet. I'm going to down bet to $10 just to keep in any queen X's or possibly a 6X or some type of draw. Turn is a 9 of clubs, not changing much. If anyone was staying in with jack 10 of clubs, they're still staying in. So I'm betting off 15. I get one caller before going off to the river. The small blind likes to fold as he determined he has some absolute garbage. Moving on to the river, it is actually an interesting one. It is the 6 of diamonds. So we now have two pair. We improve over any queen 9 or some weird, like, I don't even know what else. I don't think she has anything at this point. This is an older woman that played pretty face up, and she elects to fold, so we take home a nice one in the second hand here. Nothing too crazy in this one. We're going to run out because I raised to 15. This guy jams for about $35 that he had left. I ask him if I have two live cards with king queen. He says yes. He flips over pocket tens. The board runs out ace king jack, I believe, so he actually needed a queen to get there, and I said, dealer, please do not, and we did not. I end up sending him home, unfortunately, but we pick up a nice little pot. Continuing a good streak of good hands, we are going to pick up ace-king with the ace of diamonds and king of spades in the small blind. I'm going to raise it up to 15, and we are going to get called by the low jack and the cutoff in this one, both putting in the $15, and we're going to see a monotone flop of some spades, king, 4, and 9. We have the king of spades, and looking back on this, I actually think I could have still c-bet this board. I like to check. It checks all the way around, and now I do what I think might be called a delayed c-bet. It's essentially just a check for spades. I put out $35. I just want to make sure that I'm not looking at any spades here. One player comes along, the same older woman from the hand prior. I think she might be on some sort of a draw when she just calls. I think any spade here would have raised me. So when the river comes, a delightful ace of hearts. I actually think I have the best hand here. I think she may have an ace at some frequency, but I obviously have the best hand with the ace king, because any other ace that she has, unless she has ace queen, is probably going to be wanting to fold here. I think it's possible she may have had like ace 2, ace 3, ace 5, and just didn't find any help on that river, so she fold. Picking up another good hand here. We actually end up looking down at queen 10 of clubs. We continue our streak of decent hands. This is all in the first 30 or 40 minutes or so. We're going to raise it up to 15 just to see what we can find. We get two callers in the cutoff in the small blind, or actually I believe it was the hijack in the small blind. Low jack, someone called. There was a call. We are then going to look at a very interesting flop. In my previous life, I may have been a mason, but I didn't know the dealer was as well, as he lays down 3 big bricks, and there is some betting in front of me, and the second I see these cards, I elect to mentally fold, which is what it's called when you already know your cards are going in the muck the second it gets to you. In this next hand, we look down at Jack 10, and we are already at the flop because I didn't hit record. We are extremely out of position. There's actually two players to act behind us. We called a straddle to a flop of queen 9-4, so we have an open-ended straight draw as well as a backdoor flush opportunity. On this board, the button elects to bet for 10 when it's checked to him. I see this as just a c-bet. But I think he could have any cards on this board as well as any type of flush draw that wants to build the pot from an already small one, as it was just a limped straddle pot. The turn is pretty cool. We drill the absolute nuts. It is the 8 of clubs. We have a straight. We have the nuts. We're going to check it back to the aggressor. Unfortunately, this time he checks through. When he does that, I get a little concerned, and the river is a diamond. I check again, hoping that he will bluff, or maybe he has something that he can look for. When he bets out for 35, which is almost the whole pot, it sends me into a tank for about a minute. I sped this up. I do end up calling, and I also was a little worried about the guy behind me who just folds. I announced straight, and he does not look very happy. He mucks his cards. I'm guessing he had some sort of queen X. Looking back on this is probably the worst hand I played of the entire session, except for the last one, which you guys will really enjoy, so stay tuned for that. I definitely should be betting at almost all frequencies on every part of this board. I should definitely be betting the flop with an open-ended straight draw as well as a backdoor flush draw. I should definitely be betting the turn when I hit the nuts, and I should probably even still be raising the river. I didn't, just because I was a little bit worried of the guy behind me raising, and I didn't know what I was going to do if I faced more aggression, but I think I rolled that a little bit too hard there. I think I just have the best hand always there as played, and definitely could have made some more money off this one. We now go through a period of card deadness, so this is me folding some hands as well as losing some showdowns. Folding is always very fun, especially when you have to do it with decent hands. Look at those twos going straight in the muck. Weren't going to find anything there. Look at, oh, there they go. There go the cards. King 5, terrible hand. Why were we even in the pot with that one? Not even sure. There goes another one. Alright, this is another great hand where we actually elect to look at the first card first and see a beautiful ace of clubs followed by the beautiful king of hearts. So we've got ace king again here. We see an early position raised to 12 from the player to my right. He's been a bit aggressive. Ace king is always a 3-bet, so I decide to 3-bet that to 30. We get two callers from both him and the late position player on the button. Or actually the cutoff, excuse me. Everybody else is going to fold, so we are going 3 ways to a flop with a pot of $90. Don't forget that ace king is a drawing hand. Thankfully, we don't have to draw too hard because we hit a king on the flop, a queen 3 king checks over to us, and we are just going to bet. Don't think there's anything too wrong with half pot here, so we're going to make it half pot. The player on my left immediately folds, which I kind of thought he would have the hand since he had been a little tight, but oh well, we take it down. In this hand, we look down at 6-5 suited in the somewhat late position. I believe we're in like the low jack. We call under the gun raise to $12 from a player named Mike. Mike is sitting across the table from us. Really nice guy. Play a lot of poker with him at this casino. And I know he is a little bit of a tighter player. So when he elects to check on this board of 7, 8, 10, I go for a little C bet of 15. Not a C bet. Don't know why I said that. I didn't start the betting. Just a bet. And he calls pretty quickly. He is looking for some overcards, I believe. Looking back at this, he actually checked before this 5 even hit the table. His arm moves. So that's kind of interesting. I wish I would have known that, or I would have sized down. But anyway, we spike a 5. We now have a pair as well as a draw. Mike's going to think it over for a bit before folding. Guessing he had a couple of overcards, as he's normally a pretty tight player. This time we look down at queen 9 of diamonds. We are already at the flop, as once again was not prepared. There was some breading pre-flop. The pot is about $75 with me as the aggressor. We hit a queen on the flop as well as a gut shot to a straight. We're going to get a couple callers here, and we're going to move on to a turn. Now, some context, this guy on the left had just sat down. He had the $300 buy-in, and then he also had like $700 behind. He was definitely waiting for a bigger game. So I did think he was a bit splashy, didn't really care. I know these type of players sort of just play whatever hands and hope to get lucky. We bet out for 50 on a turn brick. We still have top pair with not too many backdoors. It's really just a jack that would improve our hand at this point. A 9 wouldn't even really be that great for us because any jack would then make a straight. Mike, our buddy over there, is going to fold, and we go off to a river, which is another 6. Now, in my head, the flush gets there, but I can't be too scared of it right now, as I continued to bet out for 60, which may have been a disaster, as right after I bet out for 60, my opponent over here on the left decides he's going to put all of it in the middle. He announces all in. I don't think too long before I fold, and this will cause some future issues. Back once again, I just want to get your guys' opinion on this one. I think I may have still had the best hand here. Later, there was some table talk, and he ended up telling me he had King 6. I don't think there's a world where he ever has King 6 in this position. I know I didn't raise it too much pre-flop, and like I said, he was a splashy player. But he told me the reason that he stayed in was because he had a gut shot on the flop of 8 Queen 10. Now, I thought about that at the time as, oh, that makes a lot of sense. You have a gutter, you're going to stay in for one street, then you hit a 6, and you stay in again, and then you hit another 6, and you have trips. But the more I thought about it, he did not have a gut shot. A king was not a gut shot to anything. So I really don't know what hand he had here. Was this a bad fold? It might have been. It would have been for all of my stack, which was the reason that I didn't call, essentially. I wanted to play longer. I wanted to keep playing. I think I could have found better spots. I don't think it's a terrible fold, but let me know if you guys think he had a big bluff here. So now I go card dead for about 45 more minutes. I get very tilted as I'm trying to play one more hand before I leave. And I just want to have like some sort of chance in the hand. I looked down at 4-5 suited and decided this is it, because the early position guy that's been pushing me around just continues to keep pushing me around. When he bets on this flop, I just decide to shove it. It's definitely a bluff because all I have right now is a gut shot. He calls pretty quickly and shows pocket aces. Oh my god, it's the top of his range. It's the top of everybody's range. But you'll never guess what the river is. Dealer one time. It's a 7. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is maybe the most disgusting picture I've ever seen. I wish I had both aces in this picture. But you could just imagine, you saw the look on that guy's face when I called, or when I shoved. This was absolutely ridiculous. This was the most tilted I probably have been in a while. And if I look back on it, it was really just variance. Like, I had so many good hands early on in the session, and then I had not so great hands towards the end. I just don't like to leave by like playing no hands and folding for an hour, so I had to play a hand. And yeah, don't do this at home. Don't try this at home, kids. Dealer, thank you so much for giving me a 7 and not making me sad. Now that I'm done editing this video, I'm going to play right now and start getting footage for it. Vlog number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for the next one. Peace.